Welcome to Missing Persons Case Files, a place where the gone are not the forgotten. What's happening in the forests of North America? How are so many people disappearing only to have their remains found much later, or in many cases, not at all? Are the predators to blame? Giant hair-covered beasts? Or even more terrifying, us as humans? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's neither. These are just a few of the questions we'll look to uncover here on the Missing Persons Case Files. Jaryd Atadero, 3 years old. In 1999, 3-year-old Jaryd Atadero, along with his father Alan and 6-year-old sister, lived at the Padre River Resort. Alan and his twin brother owned the resort and ran a small store there. Colorado's Big South Trail is an 11-mile hiking trail located at the Roosevelt National Forest. It's surrounded by over 700,000 acres of forest land. It's known to be a moderately tough trail, even for the experienced hiker. The area is home to several species of wild animal, such as elk, bobcat, moose, mountain goat, black bear, and mountain lion. It's a very popular destination for campers, backpackers, animal lovers, bird watchers, and hiking groups. Jaryd was your typical 3-year-old boy. He was funny, energetic, and adventurous. He loved football and was a fan of the Oakland Raiders. In October of 1999, a Christian singles network group was staying at the Padre River Lodge. Alan was actually a part of the group. He was divorced from Jaryd's mother at the time. On October 2nd, the group decided they wanted to visit a nearby fish hatchery about 2 miles away from the resort. Both the Atadero children wanted to go on the trip, but Alan was hesitant. He eventually gave in and allowed them to tag along. The group left the resort around 10 a.m. and visited the hatchery. They then decided to take a trip to the Big South Trail for a mid-morning hike. The group ended up breaking up into 2 smaller groups, with the slower of the 2 lagging behind. Both Jaryd and his sister were in the first group. Around 11:30 a.m., after walking about 1.5 miles, Jaryd all of a sudden took off running ahead. He ran into 2 fishermen and began talking with them. He asked if there were any bear around. He then took off running again, heading towards a different campground. According to the fishermen, a group of people were about 50 to 80 feet down the trail at this time, and they believed Jaryd was with this group, so they didn't believe he was alone. This was the last time anyone saw the little boy. At around 12:15 p.m., several members of the group, including his 6-year-old sister, heard a scream. His sister described it like somebody getting attacked or somebody playing with someone. It was at this time that everyone realized that 3-year-old Jaryd was missing. The group searched the surrounding area for about an hour or so, while others returned to the lodge to inform Alan that his son had vanished. Alan was understandably confused and shocked that this group took his children to a different trail without his permission, especially considering they were only 3 and 6 years old. Alan and the group searched the trail for hours before contacting authorities around 4 p.m. He also informed Jaryd's mother that their son was missing. She immediately flew from San Diego to Colorado to help with the search. By 6:30 p.m., a team of 65 search and rescue members arrived at the trailhead to assist in the search. They arrived at the lower trailhead. They later met up with the other searchers searching the upper trailhead between campsites 7 and 8, but neither team had found any trace. Dive teams were brought in to search Big South River, and a helicopter was deployed to search by air at dawn the following morning. To complicate things even further, the helicopter suffered malfunctions and ended up stalling while in the air around 3:30 p.m. and fell around 100 feet before crashing. Amazingly, however, all 5 crew members survived, but 2 suffered horrific injuries. One being a search and rescue member that was knocked unconscious. He fractured an eye socket and had a gash which exposed his femur bone, 3 broken vertebrae, a broken shoulder, and a concussion. Media began to flood to the scene, and psychics began giving their opinions, and even a Native American performed a ritual asking the mountain to give Jaryd back to his family. Another helicopter was deployed to assist the already search and rescue members, K9 teams, and divers. But as the days went by, hope that Jaryd was still alive was dwindling. On October 8th, the search for Jaryd Atadero was suspended due to a lack of any clues. Nothing was found that could indicate where the boy was or what may have happened. All the members of the Christian singles groups, along with the fishermen, were questioned by police, but no foul play was suspected. In the book, Missing When Sun Sets, the Jaryd Atadero story, written by Alan and Arlen Atadero, Jaryd's father describes the heartache he felt following his son's vanishing. Quote, "His disappearance was like a nuclear bomb. The original impact made me want to die. And although the fallout has blown away, the radiation from the bomb entered my system, and I feel as if I'm slowly wasting away." He also told the newspaper, The Coloradoan, "It became a tornado, a hurricane, biggest storm in all of our lives." Over the years that follow, time goes on, and many believed there would never be any answers. All of this changed when a shocking discovery was made, and the case was turned upside down. On June 4th, 2003, 2 men were hiking off the Big South Trail when they found what appeared to be a child's shoe, around 500 feet above the main trail path. They then stumbled upon a second shoe, both of which were barely weathered. They also found a brown fleece jacket dotted with what appeared to be puncture marks, a pair of blue sweatpants that were turned inside out, one of the legs ripped away. Oddly enough, the 2 men had walked the trail a couple weeks earlier and discussed the Jaryd Atadero case. They knew when they found the items what they had found. The location where the clothes were found was near Campsite 2, where the boy was last seen. The men reported what they found to the authorities, who in turn sent pictures of the clothes to Alan Atadero, who confirmed the clothes were what little Jaryd had been wearing that day. Searchers arrived to the area and began looking for other clues. They ended up finding a child's molar tooth and a skull on an elevated area over 9,000 feet further up in an area due to be searched by the helicopter that crashed. The 2 men that found the clothes stated the area where the clothes were found was in an area very difficult to get to, and no child would be able to do it. Someone or something took the boy there. A decade later, DNA confirmed the remains were Jaryd's. Heartbreaking. All you can really say about this one. You got a 3-year-old little boy and his sister. You've got, by all accounts, an amazing father. Was doing everything he could, was raising his 2 kids by himself. And something like this happens. He didn't even really want them to go visit the hatchery with the group, but he knew the people and thought it would be okay. He never gave permission for them to take his kids to this massive trail. It's an 11-mile trail. Any parent would just be completely pissed off. I know I would. This one's weird, guys. I don't know what to make of it. A lot of people, when you talk about, when you hear that the shirt had puncture marks in it, that could have been anything. And it's not even known that they were puncture marks. I mean, animals, there was all kind of chew marks. One of the legs of the pants was completely gone. Small animals, squirrels, groundhogs, chipmunks, they collect things like this and take back to make a nest. They chew through it, take what they need, and take it back to a nest. So that's what happened to the clothes. That's why they were in the shape they were. Why were the pants turned inside out? He took them off, or someone took them off of him, would be the only thing. If he had been wearing the pants when he died, they wouldn't be turned inside out. They would have been the way he was wearing them. It's also important to know that no hair, no blood, or DNA from a mountain lion was found on the clothes. Not only a mountain lion, but a bear, anything. No DNA, no blood was found on the clothes. If this little boy had been attacked, it'd be covered in blood, I'm telling you. His clothes would have been saturated and completely stained with blood. There was none. No blood on any of his clothes. They heard the scream. Something got him. He was abducted by something, probably a person. I don't know. But you go back to the two gentlemen that found him, made the statement that no child could have made it where he was, but they made it. So an adult was certainly capable of doing it. So an adult could have taken them up there, and as much as we hate to say it or speculate, there are predators, there are pedophiles out there that just lay in wait and wait for their opportunity to get a child alone. And that's what happened. Now, what about these two fishermen? When I first looked into this story and started looking at it, I've been looking into this for a couple of weeks now, and the two fishermen really, really upset me. I don't care if there are more people on the trail. That makes no sense. You do not get a pass in my book. This is a 3-year-old boy. I have a 3-year-old. If I saw my daughter out in the woods as small as she is, I would not be okay with that. Another child as small as my daughter is, another 3-year-old alone, I would not be okay with that. These men should have stayed with that little boy until those people caught up and they verified that Jaryd was a part of their group. That's it. I mean, you can't go too hard on these guys. They didn't do it. They were questioned. They were cleared. They didn't hurt the boy, but they could have prevented it. So many things could have prevented this case from happening. This boy should be alive today. And it's on the backs of many people, none of which are his father. My heart breaks for that man. I cannot imagine what he's going through. I read somewhere or heard somewhere that later on in life, his sister ends up getting married. She was a few years older than him, and this was back in '99, 24 years ago, 25 years ago. So she grows up and gets married, and it's just heartbreaking because the dad, first off, at the wedding, a seat was left open for Jaryd, and the dad walked up to the place where Jaryd was found and left the invitation for him. I mean, oh my God, how heartbreaking is that? Whatever this man has to do to help him, I don't fault him at all. Also, he has the skull, or actually, I think it's a piece of a skull. I never really got clarification on that. I read somewhere a skull, and then I read somewhere the crown of a skull, but he still has it, and he keeps it in a box along with that tooth. And he said that it may seem odd to some people, but that's all he has left of his son, and he can't get rid of it. I don't know that I could blame him for that. Also, let's talk about the shoes. These shoes had been out there for 3 years in the woods, in the element. I mean, this is Colorado. It snows in Colorado. There's all kind of moisture. You got hot summers, cold winters. They said these shoes didn't even look like they had been worn. How do you explain that? Compare the shoes with the clothes. The clothes were just in pieces, but the shoes were perfect. I don't know what kind of shoes they were, but I mean, that's the brand I need to wear probably. Them things last. I don't know. I don't know what that could be, what that could mean. Your guess is as good as mine. I just know this case was extremely, extremely heartbreaking. It's every parent's nightmare. I hope that his family have been able to find some peace throughout the years. And yeah, I mean, that's all I can really say. I don't know what else to add. As always, if y'all have any information out there, contact the authorities. You could even contact me, and I'll get it to the right people. I can assure you that. But yeah, this one was terrible, guys. If y'all have any other cases that you would like me to look into, I get 2 or 3 suggestions a week. It seems like, and start covering those. But yeah, let me know what you think about this series, Missing Persons Case Files. I'm going to continue to do them and all of that good stuff. Until we talk to y'all again, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.